In the state of Zhao She served as a low-ranking official in the agriculture department responsible for tax collection. One day, during a routine inspection, he arrived at the estate of Lord Pingyuan, the king's younger brother, to assess taxes on the lord's properties. However, Lord Pingyuan's stewards brazenly defied Zhao She's authority and refused to cooperate. To the shock of the nobility, Zhao She enforced the law without hesitation, executing 9 of the lord's stewards in accordance with state tax regulations. Furious over the loss of his retainers, Lord Pingyuan sought Zhao She's arrest and intended to have him executed in retaliation. Zhao She responded with firm conviction.
You are a respected noble and brother of the king, but if someone of your status refuses to pay taxes, it undermines the authority of the law. Without law, the state weakens, and if the state collapses under outside attack, your wealth and title will vanish with it. On the other hand, if you set the example of legal compliance, the entire nation will follow, and Zhao will thrive in unity and strength.
Ashamed and impressed by Zhao She's courage and insight, Lord Pingyuan recognized his talent and recommended him to the king. Zhao She was appointed Minister of Taxation, a dramatic rise that marked his first display of the boldness and wisdom that would define his legacy. A year later, Zhao She was called to prove himself on the battlefield. The powerful state of Qin under General Hu Yang launched an assault on Zhao, besieging the key border city of Yu. Desperate for aid, the city's defenders sent urgent messages to the capital. At court, the renowned General Lian Po advised caution.
Yu is over 120 kilometers away, across treacherous terrain. By the time reinforcements arrive, the city may already have fallen.
Zhao She disagreed. He boldly declared,
Though the road is long and dangerous, when 2 sides meet in a narrow path, the brave prevail.
Inspired by his resolve, the king appointed Zhao She, formerly a tax official, as commander-in-chief of the relief force. Instead of rushing toward Yu, Zhao She made camp near Wuhan, just 20 kilometers from the capital. He issued a strict order.
Discussing military matters with me is forbidden. Violation will be punished by death.
This move baffled both his troops and Qin's spies. General Hu Yang mocked Zhao She as a coward with no military experience and split his army. Half continued the siege of Yu, while the rest faced Zhao She near Wuhan. One Zhao officer, frustrated by the delay, suggested attacking Qin forces at Wuhan. Zhao She had him executed for defying orders. His troops, stunned into silence, spent the next 28 days fortifying their camp. Meanwhile, a Qin spy infiltrated Zhao She's ranks. Zhao She feigned weakness, allowing the spy to report that Zhao's army lacked the courage to advance. Emboldened, Hu Yang let his guard down. Then Zhao She struck, launching a forced march of over 100 kilometers in a single day and night. Zhao She's army arrived just 25 kilometers from Yu. The sudden move shocked the Qin forces. Scrambling, Hu Yang had to withdraw troops from the siege and recall the detachment at Wuhan. Zhao She seized the high ground and prepared for battle. When Qin troops arrived in disarray, Zhao She unleashed a devastating assault. The Qin army, divided and overconfident, was defeated. Yu was saved. Zhao She was enfeoffed as Lord Mafu, standing alongside General Lian Po and Premier Lin Shangru, as one of the most respected statesmen in Zhao. The Battle of Yu became one of the few major defeats suffered by the state of Qin during the Warring States period, despite Qin's overwhelming strength. From Zhao She's story, we can draw several timeless lessons. 1. Law-based governance builds nations. Zhao She's enforcement of the law, even against nobility, demonstrated that the rule of law was foundational to state strength, an early Chinese ideal of legal integrity. 2. Courage and confidence shape destiny. His famous words, "When 2 meet on a narrow path, the brave prevail," have inspired generations. His fearless commitment moved kings and soldiers alike. 3. Strategic deception and timing win wars. Zhao She's feigned weakness, psychological tactics, and surprise maneuver reflect masterful strategy. Deceive the enemy, seize the moment. By contrast, Qin General Hu Yang's failure teaches a cautionary tale. Even the most powerful state can stumble if it underestimates its opponent and fails to prepare seriously.